Hello farmers, this is Rever. Welcome to Two Rivers map. It's supposed to be big and beautiful. I haven't taken a whole long look at it. I watched a review on it by Caravaner 76. I think I got that right. Caravera 76. And it was a little bit of an old review, so I assume some things have changed. I like the idea the map is old and it's got this is version 1.3. I've tried a few maps recently and had problems. I've had a few video issues that I'll talk about while I'm plowing a field or two. Not plowing, but harvesting. So without further ado, I'll start getting set up. This is probably the fourth time I've recorded the beginning of this, so hopefully things will go well. Apparently, I think my power supply is not big enough for my relatively new, oops, I'm going this way, GTX 980 Ti. I don't even know how exactly big. I had a problem when the power supply I was going to use somehow burn out. I don't know whether it was a coincidence. I put this smaller one in. I want to say it's like a 400 watt, which is below the recommended. I did come in and get my vehicle switcher working, and I got a header trailer, but I'm not sure I even need it. So if I seem a little bit experienced about this, that's why I've been working out those issues. Over the wood pile. And we'll just put this guy right here. Again, like I said, I may sell that. Alright, drop that off. Come around here. Oops. Around here. Myself a little better view. I always play in third person. Once in a while I'll switch into the in cab, but probably if there's any combine I ever would do. But this combine's not wide enough to even need a trailer, to be honest with you. There's no road in the world as wide as this. So now part of the problem I have is when I did course play, I've turned my video settings all the way down to low, no anti-aliasing and all that stuff which I had before, but it seems like the video card so far is doing pretty well without it. I can definitely see the render distance. That circle is smaller than I had it before, so I'm hoping that is enough. I ordered a new power supply, 860 Corsair. Anyway, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, so let's see. This is about, I would set this course up. We'll see if we shut down here pretty shortly, but what do I want to do? I want to first unfold this thing. I need to get on the field. Yeah, I know. I thought it is. I thought you were unfolded. But you weren't quite there yet. So, for whatever reason on this map, horseplay is not playing overly friendly. Or at least that's what I was doing. I don't know if it has to do with this harvester. I guess I'll put those lines on. I don't know if they cause a lot of extra. We'll go to field mode, work. And I need to come back here. Save that as field 20. Mark it. Very good. So field 20. Big whopping 4.2. Take forever. We're in the southwest corner. I want to face east. I think there's a few less trees over on the other side of the field, but I will do 2 headlands, which should probably get me enough room, I would believe. Maybe not, but we'll see. We've got to reset them a few times, not the end of the world. pull. Let's just do this as we're close. Alright, and away he goes. I've made it around the few fields a couple times in the past before I crash, so I'll just have to see what happens. I plan on mostly chasing him through this field. We'll go from there. Now I'm playing on hard mode. I don't know if I'd call it ultra hard, but I did make a few modifications. The price of the fertilizer is less than normal on hard mode, just because I've found in the past that I've literally lost money on fields depending on what I had to spray, and I just don't feel that that's, I mean, I guess farmers can lose money on a field, but if you get a decent crop, you would think you're going to make some cash back. I mean, I understand there's expenses on the farm, but I never heard anyone, the prices are particularly low, but they weren't, they were, especially not to start the game out where you're, getting the better prices, more or less. After a few days of selling stuff, your prices may drop off. Go back over to our Deutz-Fahr and get ready to chase. So I noticed some things in this map aren't collidable. You might have done that for, I think they mentioned at some point. So it's a German, Google Translate or whatever, and a little hard to understand, even with English words shoved in there. Let's see if we can't chase him down. Like, in other words, I noticed some of these rocks you can drive through. The trees you can't. I suppose you can cut those down if they're annoying in particular. Let's get my cruise control set here. Not really quite coordinated enough to set the cruise control and drive at my 13, 10, 12, 1. It's too far. Alright, we're gonna hit that tree anyway, so. Alright, should be close. Good, put your thing away. We got enough, we should make it past these trees. This power thing, I know from past, is not collidable, so we'll pretend. In real life, you wouldn't ride through the power thing, so it's not like I can't come right down here. It's only at 61%, we'll be fine. So we'll chase from right here. Well, I'm assuming that since this one's not collidable, the one in the middle of the field over there is probably not either, So while courseplay may do some gyrations in the middle of the field, at least he's not going to crash into that thing. Really, courseplay I think goes around it pretty well. It's the hired workers. Not sure what the auto combine does. I've never used auto combine. Just because I have courseplay, I've seen people using the auto combine. It's probably okay. Alright, well, you guys have to understand I'm a little bit nervous over here. At this point I haven't crashed though, so it's a good thing. Race one ahead a little bit. And we can sit here and wait. Well, that's not the best place to wait. Let's back up a little bit. We'll be here in a second anyhow. Yeah, I'm playing on hard. I don't plan on doing a whole lot of silage. I don't plan on doing a lot of lumber. I try to keep it somewhat realistic. Silage just seems like it. Just so much money you get from silage that it hardly seems like. All right, put your pipe away, buddy. You need to corner. Trees. And we should be able to top off this trailer and run it into the farm. There's a grain silo right over there. And I really, even though I've started the map 4 times, most of my time's been spent, and I can only assume it's the power supply. That should be here by the weekend. I'm not sure how much hopefully it just doesn't crash. This is about when it would crash too, is when it came up this second row. So if I get past this second row, that'll seem to me that the problem is solved, or at least must be running at close to the max with this map. Alright, here we go. So this seems to be working. I know from when I had my old video card, running near that combine was like the most graphic intensive, so it sort of made sense that that's where the graphics card would draw that bit of extra power. And I mean I've been playing for 2 weeks now. It's a GTX 980 Ti, and I know I should have ordered a power supply right when I burn up that one. And I don't even know why I burn up the one. I guess I must have I was an older one. It just must not have been rated, even though the plug's plugged in. Smelled that little burning electrical smell, and the rest is history. It's now in the garbage, recycling. Alright, now we should be able to run inside the field. Just doing 2 headlands here. I'll probably pop back out of the field here. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this map. It seems like a nice big map. Challenge of hard mode with the soil mod, and I do have crop destruction on, so that should be a added difficulty there, cut down. Which is why I, kind of the fertilizer just is way too much, I think. I didn't modify any of the starting equipment. I did get rid of the debt, the 150,000 debt you normally get on hard mode, and I gave myself $50,000. I'm sure 4,000 is difficult, but difficult is difficult enough. Trying to kill myself. I'll cut through that 50,000 I gave me, no problem. But I also noticed on this map I didn't get a sprayer, and I really don't like the mower that they gave us. I want to get that inline mower, and that way I can cut and harvest, because it's pretty much I really want to get some animals going, the supplemental income. It takes a while to pay back the initial cost on the animals, but there will be some income coming in. I also have the fruit orchard stuff I can do. Those trees are $3,500 a piece though, so all cost money. And, between that and I don't have a windrower. They didn't give me that on the farms, and that's pretty much a necessity. I like to get the medium one. May even find myself borrowing money before this day's over, just to get what's truly the basic equipment that you kind of need to do a soil mod map. Alright, well, we seem to be in business. Turning that graphics settings down all the way to the lowest may get me recording this by the weekend, which will be here before I know it. Probably putting in a new power supply. I'll feel better about that. See, my other computer that I use, just for some, I don't know, it's just an older computer. It's a Vista. every 2 years or so I get a new computer. This year I probably won't because I got this video card. Hell, that was the price of a computer, really. But it's pretty cool. GTI or GTX 980 Ti hybrid, they call it. It's water cooled, and I'll tell you what, I haven't even seen the temperature go up. Now, I really wasn't monitoring it, but anytime I put my hand over it or whatever, there was a little warmth coming out, but nothing extreme. I've had other video cards where you put your hand on it, it's hot to the touch. So I guess between the cards cooling and the added water cooling, and we're getting into fall here in Pennsylvania, which means, man, this guy, yep, he makes a very retarded turn right here. Alright, so why don't we drop this off, since we're going to have to chase him down. He comes back the other way, and there's no way we're going to hold all that. It's that much, but this thing's not holding much either. So yeah, this is my barley. There's 3 fields that we own. The barley field, a wheat field, and a canola field. And I will eventually turn crop withering off if I remember. You know, there's no way I'm gonna. The fields will still get messed up with the soil mod, losing nitrogen, and in some ways it's just as well. They lose a lot of nitrogen and PK, and then the weeds come in and mess them up. But once the nitrogen gets down to 0, at least at that point, you can build it back up. It's nice and even across the whole field. You don't have spots with 2 and other spots with 4. I've become pretty good at soil mod. I still have some questions. Not even so much questions. It seems like, you know, the biggest thing right now is with the moisture, and I was thinking it was not additive. I thought when you sprayed water you got 28 no matter what, regardless of. Then the one little test I conducted, or not even test, but when I was out there on my last map, I think I might have got, 42 instead of just getting 28. So I got the 14 and the 28, but I'm not sure if it was just one of those phases where the crops didn't suck up the moisture. We'll see. Yeah, I seem to be in a lot better shape now, as far as this not crashing and burning. Yeah, my computer just bang, shut off. Which I don't really like, because it can't be that good for the computer. Alright, so his back and forth. 2 back and forth, so I'm going to clean up these rows, so I'll have to come back and do it later on. Hop to him real quick and stop him. Now, I was in this combine before when it died, so let's see if we can't keep all this straw in the field. Like I said, one of my first purchases, I don't even know where the store is at this moment, will be a windrower. Get the medium in-game one. The little in-game one, I don't know, it's a little bit too small. Not sure exactly how much money. It's never a whole lot in the hard mode that we'll get for this combine, so hopefully we'll get enough to get a bigger combine sometime soon. Let's change that for the first waypoint. That's annoying. Click that. Alright, well, like I said, I haven't crashed, so I'm going to take a deep breath here. And, I guess you can call it a sigh of relief. Get ready to chase him back the other way. It's actually pretty early in the morning. I was going to record this last night, this first episode. To work a less 9 to 5 job. Yeah, so if anybody wanted to know, you know, normally I can turn that GTX all the way up and everything looks wonderful. This really doesn't look bad though. You know, even when it's running, it seems to be pretty smooth to me. So even on the low game settings, you know, the card handles it very well, or even on the high game settings, I should say. So low is not much of an accomplishment, is it? Alright, clean up this end. Nice. Well, I know from watching other people's videos, they say that people like to see all the action, and I'm not so sure I have enough to say while I'm just sitting here on the field with a 4.2 meter combine to actually entertain you guys the entire time. I like to think I'm interesting, but I know I'm not that interesting. Yeah, look, he goes right on through that. If I'm looking at the courses up ahead, right on through that power thing, so that should be not a problem, though. Sometimes when they hit that grass, it causes them to stop and do stupid stuff. No, that's the workers anyway. I guess course play does that okay. But yeah, I've been playing now for, you know, the better part of 6 months or so, and I don't get this guy chased down. Paying attention, looking at that stupid power stand. And I've played a lot of hours. I should probably look at my Steam account at some point here. Just let you guys know what it is, but at one point it was 500 hours, and that was... Maybe I've only been playing for 4 months. I'll have to go see. I guess that tells you when you purchased it too. It's a lot of hours. If I had a full-time job, or I mean a part-time job, I'd have made a lot of money, you know, instead of playing this game. But hey, that's got it close enough to empty. Got it empty. Perfect. Drop this off again. So yeah, I'll probably got to go to work soon, like I said, and I'll bring you guys back when I get done probably harvesting each field and show you as much of the action as I can. And sometimes, just because I'm new, I don't do everything, and I'm pretty quick to get frustrated with the map if everything doesn't work, so that's why I'm kind of looking forward to this one working. But yeah, well, I will get going, and I will see you after work, which for you guys will probably be a second or two from now. Got a busy day, got to get a bunch of stuff done, and traffic and everything getting there, so see you in a bit. Well, I'm back on the field. As you can see, we're almost done doing the harvest. I wonder why he started doing this little maneuver at the end there. I don't think I did anything different. Just started going long. Anyway, so this should be the last couple passes for him. do want to finish up those corners manually. After this, I would like to, been thinking plenty. You can see from the game time, it's been about an hour and a half or so working on this field. It certainly makes you want a better combine, but hey, you know, it's all part of a new farm. Got a bunch of credit, you know, I can get 500,000, and then the Bank of Hagenstad, you know, we can take a look at that. I don't know if you guys ever used it or not. I can explain it a little bit. It'll come up sometime soon. Today I really want to make a plan. Like I said, I really haven't looked around the map for myself. I looked at one or two YouTube videos. Some of them were old, from like version 1.1, talking about the cows not working. And I think the first piece of equipment, though, is going to be a windrower. But I also kind of want to find out if there's a... I have a placeable, and I'll show you here, where I had it. I may have taken it out. I might put it back if I did. See what placeables I didn't take out. Yeah, I have the straw power plant. I could buy that for 25,000. That just really gives you a place to sell your straw. Different, you know, you get a little bit more money. Nothing great. I've never used this dung and satgup. I think it has something to do with making seeds and dung. So really need to kind of find out what's on the map before I can. Oops, wrong one. Oh no, okay, I took that out. Oh, universal selling points. So I don't see universal processing kit anything else. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't take that thing out, whatever the hell it is. Sale trigger. You must have... Huh. Alright, well, whatever. So we'll go back to the harvest, and like I said, we'll see if we don't have a mixing station for TMR someplace. If we do, it means I really don't need to worry about hay bales. If we don't, you know, really my first goal here is to get the animals going, at least a few of them, start getting a feel for what I need to do to expand them. I know that's sometimes it's not the best way to make money. So I noticed there's a potato field or two that I'd like to take a look at buying. But again, it's before I go into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, I sort of want to have a little bit better feel for the map. So I thought the first thing I could do is just take a ride around with you, and you know, go from there. We'll go buy I want to trade in the mower that I've got and go buy the one that sits right in the front of the tractor. Goes to that side jobby. That way I can go. I see there's a grass field right there. I need to get some silage going if I'm going to do the TMR. And again, I'll figure out whether or not we got a mixing thing for the straw, or else I might have to buy a baler. I'm not overly looking forward to baling. It's not I don't think anybody does. Well, I guess I'm sure there's some people that do. But I know I'm not going to probably buy the big, you know, square baler or anything like that. So we'll just have to see. It may change the plan entirely once we get into it and figure out what we got on the map. Another thing I don't know about is if I have a compost master. I guess I could have chased this guy up the other way. I'll do that in a second here. So see if that compost master, if there's one of those, because that's a good place to sell off some extra straw. You tend to get a lot more money. You should probably just look and see if it's even on one of the. Oop, geez, sorry tractor, sorry combine. See if it's one of the sale points. That would give me a good clue to whether I should even look for one. So there we go. Take me a long time to get all these fields done. Switch back over to my tractor. Stop in. bit. Alright, so this last little bit cleaned up. We'll see about getting us a windrower. Whether we bail or not, the windrower will come in handy. Alright, let's head over to the other end of the field. Blazing 13 miles per hour. So 16. Well, that's not so bad. I know there's some of the bigger ones I think do 19, is it? But there we go. I might just leave this guy parked up here for now. The next field will be the barley. So we'll put this out so we can get this last, or I'm sorry, wheat. This was barley. There's wheat in that there field. Number 19. And then I got field 19 with the canola. And then still forgot to turn crop withering off, but I'll get to that sometime soon. Alright, drop off that straw. Maybe I'll bigger looking hill. Just park them right here where the tractor can come down the road and take the rest of it. Ready to go on field 19. Once we get, probably next episode, I'll start on that. I guess I can turn that off. Back to the tractor. There's field 19, and I guess way above there is field 18. Is the other one that I own right now. So I got to the end of today to get the crop withering turned off, and only problem then is every day that goes by, at least for a while, pretty much everything's zeroed out. I'll start losing any crop bonus, so it's, you know, the other, I'd like to get some potatoes, you know, they help get your animals. That wasn't worth much, was it? It's a heck of a hill here. So I didn't really notice that earlier for some reason. Drop this off, drop the trailer, grab the mower, go sell the mower, buy the better mower and the windrower. I figure I can carry them back in one shot. I don't really even know where I'm going. So this symbol over in the by field 25 says garden center, so I imagine that's just where you buy. So the Browery, which is a brewery, I guess, right near the brewery there. So I guess I could take the farm road. Looks like I could take this farm road right straight down south. Imagine you guys can't see that on the YouTube, but anyway, yeah, we'll give that a shot. Thing's as good as another. Guest house. Yeah, I guess let's take another look at this and see if, what do we got that we can sell? That might give us a clue. Wood chips, seeds, lime, compost soil. So if we have compost soil, but we don't have any, we're not allowed to sell it. We don't have a sales point for it. So that's kind of telling me that there's probably no compost master, and even then I can't sell it anyway, so oh well. Washed potatoes. Do we have steamed potatoes? No. Can we sell washed potatoes, or is that just a function of pig silage or something? I don't even know if we need pig silage on this map. I guess we can go, yeah, so there's no place to sell washed potatoes. Lime, pellets. Now, pellets, I think, is being added by a mod I have installed, the factory mod. I may have taken it out, we'll see. Some of these mods I took out I may add back, depending on what this map has. I'll try to do it with some realistic backstory. Alright, so it doesn't look like we got a whole lot. This looks like a good place for this trailer, huh? That seeds back there, but I guess I'll block it in. Down there. This. Oh, you know what? No, this will work out. I'm just going to sell this one thing, so. Get the stupid thing out of here, though, don't I? Where is it? See what I mean? Ooh. Just once I attach it, I can fold it, I assume. Like that. Yeah, you know what? I've never actually used this one, but I like my way of doing it. I hook up the collection wagon. All right, south. I think over this bridge. What does the sign say? It says land on Forkwerk Forsversch. K and Fry. I don't know. I think that might mean don't drive your motorcycle or your car on the road. Since, let's see. I don't know. Anyway. So that must be the brewery. Whoop, goodbye. Must be the brewery. Yeah, and I can see a store just behind the brewery there. Drop this off, see what we get for it. We got 52,000, so I think that's going to be enough. Put a hurt on our wallet, but it's going to be enough to. I guess I'll lower it. I don't know why I'm lowering it. Just sell the darn thing anyway. Go. Tractor out of there so I don't sell that. And ooh, 5,000. No, still don't have to deal with it. So let's purchase some stuff. I don't have any modded windrowers. Nope. Do I have any modded mowers? No, I took them out. They weren't worth the salt, but they were cheaper. On this map, it might not have been a bad idea. Now, I do have a baler. No, that's not a baler. That's just a flatbed. I should look into. I haven't. I've heard about that BM modding or whatever it is, the one that won the contest. I should download that. I imagine the website's less crowded. It was kind of. I downloaded some of the stuff, but not that much. All right, mowers. Yeah, 13,000, but that's me. Getting these two down the road might be nice, but just to get started, this one does a good job of cutting and then let me pick up right behind it. So, all right, I'll take one of those, please. And I got 43,000. Windrowers, yeah, 32,000. Like I said, that's going to hurt the wallet between the two of them, especially. But that'll let me get this hay off the field in some kind of civilized, not taking 3-hour manner. And so decisions are being made. Like I said, I got plenty to deal with as far as just figuring out what's going on with this map. Probably head back. I'm going to take a little buzz around here since we're down here, right? I don't know if I want to bring let's hook the mower up first. Easier that way. Let's see what's across from Salzburg Mühlenwerk. I don't know what that means. So tell me. It's a factory. I think Verk is a factory. Works. Yeah, Verk. Yes. Alright, so this was the store. We got some new stuff. Guess we can cut grass and straw. Certainly need to get a new tractor. Okay, open the door first. Is it opening? I got a tree in my face. Yep, it opened. Yeah, this Muhlenwerks looks got a big windmill. Am I right in assuming you might bring, you got a sell point. Oh, yep, you can go through there. So Muhlenwerks looks like it's going to be some place to sell wheat. Oop, come back. I guess, does that mean Mulin? Mule. Yeah, it must be Mule. Yeah, so wheat. That's it. Let's do the 9 thing. Yep, Mule. Okay, well, Mule it is then. And then they got Old Mule. So that must be some other kind of grain processing, I would guess. Alright, well, we got a field to windrow anyhow. And maybe I'll spin by Mule, Old Mule, if I can figure out how to get there. Get out of this parking lot. Yeah, so far so good. Let's see what happens. Sorry to yell in your ear there. If we go this way, instead of going back up the farm road, let's take the long road. Yeah, we saw a bakery. Well, let's go by the brewery real fast. Just stick our heads over the fence. Nothing else. Yeah, it looks like I sell stuff at the brewery. What can I sell there? Brewery. Barley. Anything else? You would think the brewery would need more than barley, but I guess that's it. And the Old Mule, since we'll just look now, has canola. That's it. Okay, so it looks like he's kind of got these spread out. Like a lot of maps just have all of them sold from each place. This looks, if you grow this one, you gotta drive down here. And if there's much competition. That looks like some kind of a lumber mill or an ice mart. Let's go this way. So okay, so this is Old Mule. Lumber mill. It wasn't a lumber mill, was it? Yeah, it could have been. Well, we'll come down there again. Raffessen, I know, is like a place you sell stuff. Metzgerei, it's the meat, you know, where you sell your fattened animals. Gartenieri sort of sounds like garden, but the green symbol there is probably where you sell grass or something. Straw. Ponyhof, I could see selling straw down at a Ponyhof, but I don't know what pony means in any other language. Good number of grass selling places. Alright, biomass heating. Okay, well, off we go. It's not getting the job done, and daylight's burning. If we do get another field, there'd be a lot of fields harvested. That little stupid combine. Seems like there's a grass field right there we can maybe cut. Oh, there's grass fields all over here that aren't. Ooh, baby, that's tight. Alright, so Hoff, house, or headquarters maybe, Gartenieri. Raffessen, Ralphieson Market? I don't know. It is. I keep knocking over the pylons. So I can go back up that way to the farm, or I can go in this bottom way. I guess it looks like from the map that way. Oops, I just drove past it. Let's back up a little bit. I think I have a weight someplace. I don't know that I'll need it, but this is kind of a... I didn't even look at the... Why don't we drop this guy for a second. Figure out where this weight is. Put this guy in here. Oop, that's the shot. That's alright, it's a good place for it anyway. But you know what? It's not, because that's a drive-through one. I think the one over here is not drive-through. And there's my weight. Wonderful. So for right now, can we... Yeah, look, we can stick that guy... Oh, you know what? We can go... Well, that's a double door. Where is it? Yep. Very nice. Does that fold up nice? Oh, look at that. I was thinking that was a kind of dumb design for... Oh, geez, we're going to get stuck in the wall. Go. Alright, there we go. So, you stay there. I guess I could have put it down a little nicer. That's a pretty big looking weight for this tractor, but we'll give it a shot. Once we get a little bit of money built up, we'll... Yeah, that's a... Yeah, we'll see. We'll be back all the way over there. Better get straight, because... Alright. Wrong way. Alright, well, at least we don't have to pick up every one of those lines now. We do need to still figure out if we've got a, you know, how we're going to deal with all this straw. I don't even know where to put the straw if I did gather it. And I don't know exactly how long I've spent. In my first video for this series, I'll probably call it quits right about here and take a little bit of a break, and then I'll start recording another episode not too long after this, and probably won't get it up for, you know, a day or two here, but you know, after this first one goes out, so we'll see how it goes, and might even just start processing my first episode. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If anybody watches it, might have just been talking to myself for a little while. That's okay too. It's bringing a different aspect to the game. So, all right, I'll talk to you. Hopefully, see you again in the next episode. Take care, everybody. Bye.